In the 1970s, school desegregation led to a lot of violence and high tension in the Boston area. On the forefront of the resistance to put this controversial topic to rest was a woman with a soft voice but a strong point of view. This monumental figure was Louise Day Hicks. Hicks started her own law firm. It was not very successful, but her previous education and experiences gave her a foundation to have a strong political career. In the 1960s, when Hicks had just been elected into the school committee, she faced her first major obstacle. The NAACP, led by a lawyer named Ruth Batson, accused the school district board of segregation and unequal allocation of resources throughout the schools in Boston. In law, there are two types of segregation, de jure and de facto. In de jure segregation, lawmakers pass laws with the intention of encouraging segregation without blatantly stating that this intention exists. De facto segregation is where the discrimination is not precisely written in the law, but the way the law is written easily allows for this discrimination to thrive. The schools of Boston displayed de jure segregation. There were many laws intentionally passed by officials that encouraged de jure segregation, such as busing laws, which restricted buses from going to a neighborhood of certain races. Students often had only a few choices of the schools they could go to, and most of them were very far and racially segregated. The committee claimed that this was just residential segregation, but that was not the case. Due to these segregating laws, the city was extremely racially imbalanced. Half of the city's black students attended 28 schools, each of which were at least 80% black. 16 of these 28 schools were over 96% black. The predominantly black schools received less funding than the white schools. Hicks was well aware of the segregation within the city and decided to take charge of the situation. She tried her best to stand in the way of integration, knowing that taking a segregationist stance would gain the support of the valued white voters. Hicks privately took strong action to prevent busing, while publicly she promised to improve the predominantly black schools. Despite these promises, almost nothing was achieved under her administration because she and her fellow officials were still passing laws that encouraged de jure segregation. While taking a stand against desegregation, she employed different political tactics to boost the public's opinion of her and help her get elected. One of her key statements was, "You know where I stand." This was useful because it was a way of communicating racial hostility to the racist portion of her voters without being explicitly racist. This is also a statement that, while sounding strong, is very immaterial. It can be interpreted by both sides of the conflict as positive and reassuring. With this statement, however, she was telling the white segregationist population that she was not going to give any ground to the black communities. Although Hicks was considered by some to be crazy, she was able to expertly influence others to take her side. With her expert control of the public opinion that was able to keep her afloat, she was able to maintain control over the school committee by herself. She refused to make changes when she was challenged by the NAACP, confidently insisting that segregation was not taking place. She carefully exhibited racist ideas for her political gain, although they did not reflect her personal beliefs. This political strategy was effective as she was able to maintain her position in government. Despite her failed attempts to become the mayor of Boston and to become a congresswoman, Louise Day Hicks was a key figure of segregation in Boston during the 70s because of the actions she took to prevent integration and stop the busing act.